Okay. Worked, didn't it? And what did you then learn from that? Consciously, what did you learn from that? This is a pretty good way, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm? Is that it? I put those words in your mouth. Is that accurate? What did you learn?
It's not needed anymore.
It's what?
It's not needed anymore.
Okay, that's your conscious opinion now.
Yeah.
Why isn't it needed anymore? Verbalize a little bit about that for me. Why isn't it needed any longer? You don't have to tell what actually happened, just in an abstract sense. Why don't you need it anymore?
Because I don't have to explain everything I do to everyone now. I can just, everyone trust me to make my own decisions.
Okay. Centrum, are you listening? Did you hear that, Centrum?
Yes.
Centrum, you consciously conclude you do not need it anymore. Doesn't make sense now, even though it made sense then. Centrum, do you now agree with your conscious opinion?
Yes.
Well, Centrum, back there, whatever it was happened. And there was some lesson you learned or some influence of some form that came out of that experience. You know, you learned to use migraine headaches or something. And that influence, even without your being consciously aware of it, that influence has continued to cause the migraine headaches. Centrum, does that seem accurate to you?
Yes.
Well, Centrum, that influence, it's represented in your mind in some way, some part of your mind in the model of this way of thinking, some part of your mind still believes you need the migraine headaches. Problem is that part believes that based on what was. That part doesn't know about the present. That part is stuck back there in time, causing the migraine headache for the same reason, without even awareness of the consequence. So your task now, Centrum, if you are willing to continue to cooperate, and incidentally, let me be sure of that point, Centrum, are you willing to continue with this work?
Yes.
Okay. Then, Centrum, your task will be that of reconditioning by education, by informing that part about present life. But first, Centrum, you have to identify the part. And there may be more than one part. So I ask, Centrum, identify that part and any other parts that are apparent in preparation for taking the next step. Is my request clear, Centrum?
Yes.
Centrum, let me know with the word complete when you have completed that task.
Complete.
Centrum, did you identify that part, or maybe more parts? successful in identifying that part, Central? Centrum,
Says no.
says no, okay. Centrum, do you understand what I mean by the word part?
Yes.
Okay. I'm referring to that influence that came forward in time from that initial first event. It's represented, that influence is represented in some form, and I'm calling that a part. Well, Centrum, well, tell me this, Centrum, do you agree that that part must exist?
No.
Ah, okay. Well, Centrum, tell me this. Do you agree that some part of your mind is causing the headaches to happen?
Yes.
That's the part I want you to identify, Centrum. And there may be, could be many parts involved. That part that's causing the headache is causing the headache for some reason. And ultimately, Centrum, I want you to find out what that reason is, but before you can do that, you have to identify that part and establish communication with that part. Centrum, does all this make sense to you, logically?
No.
Okay. Tell me, Centrum, are you Centrum, are you open to the possibility that these headaches are, and I'm going to use the word psychogenic, that these headaches are the consequence of psychological influence, not organic? Centrum, are you open to the possibility that that's true?
Yes.
Well, Centrum, please consider for that possibility for a moment. Review the memories of headaches that you have had. See if you can identify that influence, which is that part of your mind that's causing the headaches. Does that request make sense, Central?
Yes.
Okay. Please do that now, Central, to the limit of your ability, and let me know by the word complete when you have completed that task.
Complete.
Central? Do you now agree with me? No, that's not the right way to phrase that, Centrum. Centrum, do you now believe these headaches are psychogenic?
Yes.
That means then that these headaches are being caused by some part of your mind that exists. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the headache. Some part of your mind is causing this. And that part of your mind it's an influence, a lesson, some form of influence that came from past experience. Do you now agree with that that's true? Sure.
Yes.
And apparently, the 10-year-old experience was one of those experiences. When that happened, some part of your mind was created. It's like if you learn a new skill, something is there now that wasn't there before. Whatever that something is, part of your mind, okay? And whatever happened when you were 10 years old, it created a consequence of the creation of this part of your mind that caused the headache then. Oh, well, maybe we need to know. Is that an accurate statement? As you understand things now, did that part of your mind that was created cause the headache then, the first time?
Yes.
Okay. Centrum, did that same part create the rest of the headaches?
No.
Did it cause any of the rest of the headaches?
Yes.
Centrum, do you believe that some of the headaches are psychogenic and some are not?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah, what was that, please?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, Centrum, are you willing to cooperate to eliminate those that are psychogenic?
Yes.
To do that, Centrum, it will be necessary to identify that part of your mind, that part that represents that influence. It will be necessary for you, Centrum, to communicate with that part, to educate that part, to persuade that part to cease causing the headaches and support present life. And the first task, Centrum, has to be for you to identify those parts in preparation for communicating with them. Centrum, does this make sense logically to you?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, please identify that part, at least that part, now, and let me know when you have done so.
Complete.
Centrum, are you in communication with that part?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, please proceed in this way.